Oh, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life, and particularly coping with life on a budget. As you know, on Friday evenings, I like to cook up two things. Number one, something that uses leftovers because I'm inclined to get fresh vegetables and things on a Saturday. And then, secondly, uh, how do I make a meal that is satisfying, looks great, and yet doesn't cost me a fortune? Things that are very important to me. And the third point is, what do I need to use up in my freezer? So tonight, we're going to be having great fun. We're going to cook a rustic tomato pie. And the reason we're going to do that is it's really getting very exciting. My first tomatoes are about to, um, I would think, start to ripen. So I thought it would be a really good idea to start talking about ways in which to use it. Hi there, Iz, and hi to Jody. For those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin. And so I'm hoping that you will enjoy the cooking segment. We also have tonight, I thought I'd show you how I made a hanging garden and what my plan is for my hanging garden for the fall and winter. And that's going to be fun for me, I must admit. And then we're also going to, in this broadcast, talk about how do you dehydrate without using the power of an oven, where there's a lot of wasted power, or if you haven't got a dehydration type machine. Now, I know that my air fryer will dehydrate, but I'm going to show you how I don't even need to use that. So, hope that you enjoy it. We're also going to be doing a segment on Christmas in July. I want to show you some ideas that I've got for Christmas presents. And I think that's probably going to be more than enough for this broadcast. Jody, I'm going to ask you, if you possibly can, if I give you a timestamp request, can you just, I will actually tell you what the timestamp is. I just want to be able to break this up so I can put them in chapters later. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure it does. All right, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do is ask ourselves, have I got enough things out of the fridge to create a rainbow? All right, because we know that eating the rainbow is healthy for us. So I've got the red of grape tomatoes. By the way, tomatoes, they are so good for you. And the timestamp, by the way, is 2:30. Let's call it that. So tomatoes are really good for you. If it's red, the chances are it's healthy. And that's the way you've got to remember that. I've got orange peppers and yellow peppers. All right, so two more colors. I've got green of a zucchini. I've also got basil and celery and chives. So lots of different things to add that are green. And I've got cheese, which has got some orange in it, orange color. Yeah. Uh, I think that's about it tonight. Oh, wait a minute. I've got some Parmesan cheese, which is a lighter yellow, right? So we've got a nice rainbow. Oh, and some brie cheese as well. So we've got the rainbow. That's not a problem. The next thing is, now it depends on who you are and what you like. The recipe is a pie, so therefore most of you might want to make this with a pastry base. Now, whether you make your own pastry or whether you buy a pastry crust is up to you. I'm going to use bread dough. Why? Because I know that I allow myself a certain amount of bread dough a day, and I cook it up any way I want to. Some days I make pita out of it, pita bread. Some days I will make toast out of it. Some days, like tonight, I will make it in a different way. So let's get some dough out. And I'm going to take two lots out, one for today and then one for I can either have later in the week or I can freeze it. So I'm going to put all this aside for a moment. Because first we need to get the dough going. And also, I want to get the oven. And as you know, I try to do all my cooking at about 375. I don't need 400 if I don't need it, right? This will probably cook in about 20 minutes, and 375 is my guess, but we will find out, okay? So let's do that. Oops. I've just set it to warm up, and here is the thing. We know that in the air fryer, the only space I'm heating up is that little space as opposed to the whole of an oven, all right? And that's the whole point. When you're using just a small thing like that, you're saving money once you've got it. All right, so what I'm going to do is, this is my own homemade dough. I make, took me I was on a mission a couple of years ago to learn how to make my own multi-grain sourdough bread. And here is the dough. I now make it without even thinking. So the dough's already made. You can choose whether to make your own dough, or maybe most grocery stores will have it in the freezer section. You can buy frozen dough, or you can buy it in the baking section. Sometimes they have bread dough there, and you just add water to it, and then you're good to go. So this is, just so that you know, my daily allowance is normally about 15 to 20 grams. Wait a minute, let me see what this is. This is 12, which would be about 4.4 ounces of dough. That's what I allow myself every day. Portion control. All right, so there we go. And what I'm going to do is just, oops, put flour everywhere apparently. So I'm not even going to bother to get out my rolling pin. I'm just going to, maybe I will. Okay. I'm going to, because I've just remembered what we're making. Oh, rolling pin. When I do my pita bread, I don't actually use the rolling pin. I just keep doing that until I got it where I want it. So here we're going to roll it out until it's pretty thin. And remember, if you're doing this with pastry, you can buy store-bought pastry or make your own. Making your own is cheaper, but it takes more time. So work out what cheap is. Okay. A bit more. All right, so that's a fairly thin crust. There's one. I think you know that I use plastic bags instead of saran wrap. So there's one. Because like you can keep, that's reusable plastic. Think about reusable. When I buy plastic bags, I still have plastic bags, but I buy the thick ones so that I can wash them, and I put mine in the dishwasher, inside out. Works really well. All right, little bit of flour on both sides, and then let's just, yeah, that's just to stop it sticking to the. All right, so not a perfect shape. Who cares? We want to have fun, right? So the first thing we're going to do on this is get some tomatoes. Right. What is a serving of grape tomatoes? Do you know? Let's see how good you are. So the first thing I'm going to do is to put some tomato on the bottom. Yeah. And we need some chives, green onion. Where are they? Where are my scissors? Okay, look at this one. I know where they are. They're in. So these are, just a tip for those of you who don't know. I buy green onions once a season. Okay, and I keep them in my hydroponic system that I created. And this is when I started back in December. And then this one I got at the beginning of July. So, and it's already been cut once. So good cost saving. So that one looks a bit dry. So we'll take a new one. All right, I'm just going to take some green pepper, green onion, and put that in. Let's spread that around a bit. I think a little bit more, don't you? There we go. That's the first thing. Next thing we're going to do is a layer of mayo. Now I'm going to put a mixture of my regular olive oil mayo by Hellmann's. They're not paid by them. I just love their stuff. So I'm going to put some of that mayo in there. And then I'm going to put, they make a spicy one now. It's got a bit of jalapeno in it, but I don't want it too strong. It's too strong for me. So I like to add a little bit to my regular mayo so that I get the right consistency. And I'm going to mix that up. So I've now got Sal's version. And I'm going to put that on the top. Sounds easier than it is, right? Okay. Tastes really good. Yum. Okay, so we've got tomatoes and chives and a layer of mayo. And then what we're going to do is to put some more tomatoes on top. But first, wait. Let's put some meat in there. Now, obviously, it's up to you. I'm going to put the mystery meat in. What is the one meat that everybody loves? That's the one I'm going to put in. Bacon. So I'm just going to quickly nuke that up so that it's partially cooked. All right, so I've just put that on for 1.5 minutes. It may be too much. I'll check in a second. Good to see you there, Kami. In the meantime, I'll put some black pepper on there, because you know it's good for us. And then, how about some basil? Right, we want green. So a couple of basil leaves. We've already got the green pepper, but and yeah. I can do a little bit more. Just so you know, the bacon, I took 2 strips of bacon and cut it into small pieces, and I'm cooking it for 1.5 minutes. Right? Then what else are we going to have on there? Let me think here. Have the bacon, and then we need some more tomato on top. But before that, maybe we'll put, I've got some Tex-Mex shredded cheese. Put 1 layer of that on. Where are my things? I need this. There we go. All right, so you can see that the bacon is cooked but not crispy and hot. Remember that it's going to be hot. So I'm going to put that on top of the cheese. I'm so hungry already. Then we're going to top it with some more tomato, because that's what we're trying to use up in tomato season. Now, so far, it's not too unhealthy, people. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan over the top of all of that, if I can. Here we go. Now, the next thing is, what we're going to do is to create sort of like a little basket. And all I'm going to do, I wonder if you can see this. I'm just going to pleat the edges, sort of like this. Easy? So now I'm going to put it in here on the basket. All right, what did I do with it? Ah, there it is. Oh, I burnt my foot. Remember, it's hot. Maybe a little bit more pepper on top of that. If I can find it. We know it's here, I just used it. What did I do with it? All right, which one of you hid it? There it is. Okay, just a bit more black pepper on top. Just right. Going to put it in for about 20 minutes. Jody, could you just give me a reminder in about 15, just in case? That's how it looks when it goes in. Anybody getting hungry yet? Okay. And because we are meal prepping, I'm going to make a second one, and this one is for me either to freeze or have it later in the week. So here is our second bit of dough. Okay, and make it a bit more round. Pretend we know what we're doing here. Lift it up a little bit more. Yeah. All right, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with a layer of tomato. My new tomatoes come in tomorrow, so that's why I'm using them up. Okay, here we go. So a layer of tomato. We need some onion. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this one a different one. Let's put some celery in. And this is just very, my homegrown celery from stalk. Put a little bit of that on, give it a different taste. The other one had basil. There we go. Now we want some mayo. Oh, that could be enough. Wasn't quite the way I intended to prepare it. Go with the flow. So I'm just going to mix that in a bit. It's awesome. Then we're going to have more tomato. Oh, meat. We want some meat. Now, I had a really good idea. When I was shopping in my freezer this week, I found some bacon and cheddar smokies. What do you think? Now, normally I wouldn't eat these, right? But it's Friday. I can have whatever I like on Fridays, as long as I cook it. So here we go. I'm going to and I've still got half of one left that I will cut up and put on top of some fruit. Maybe apple and smokies or something. For when I have my fruit tonight. All right, so we've got that and we've got that. A few more. Oh, let's put some peppers in this one. Just because that'll make it interesting. And then, this is a trick that Jody taught me. I've got some brie cheese. I allow myself one thing of brie cheese a month. And then I'm going to take this end and put some of the, and Jody's going, to-do list, make rustic tomato pie. This isn't the real way, Jody. It's Sal's way. You know that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to use the crust of my brie cheese like this, and we'll throw that in. That tastes wonderful in there. And we'll just put a bit of brie over the top. Yep, we're liking this already. And then we're going to stretch it and fold it. Stretch it a bit and fold it. Whoops. Now then, how many of you know this would be great to put on a barbecue? All right. And to me, the interesting thing is to have it already flat. And then here's my trick. This is a trick for the week. And then what I would do is I would fill my muffin, silicone muffin molds with all the different options. You can put some yellow peppers on or some red peppers, some bacon, and let people choose what they want to have inside this. But can you see that what you've got now is a very nice, tasty portion? Now, for those of you who love garlic, I love it, but my body doesn't, right? Add garlic in there wherever you want to put it. For those of you who, what did you think of while I was doing that? What did you say? Oh, I could put in, give me some ideas. Like I need a few. What would you put in there that you can think of? And remember, I'm using up vegetables at the end of the week. And I really want to tell you, this works so well. And it's really, if you like, a pizza in a basket. Right, Jody's going onion and zucchini. I nearly put zucchini in. Should we just put maybe some carrot and zucchini over the top? Let's try that, Jody. Good idea. Let's put some more green. Doesn't that look pretty? Nice idea. Anyway, let me get some carrot. Oh, wrong way. Now remember, it is very veggie friendly. Yes, I agree, Jody. But also remember, the only carbs I've got in here, is the amount of bread, pita bread, that I would normally have. Right? So it's not extra. It is just my ration of pita bread. Now you're wondering, how am I going to get that onto the basket? Good question. And the answer is carefully, because the likelihood of my burning myself around about now is great. So I'm just going to move this to the side a bit. So I got room for the basket. Jody, the left-hand one needs another 11 minutes. Okay? So that means... Oh, all right, hang on a second. We'll let it go for the 11 minutes, and then we'll add a bit more for the second one. That's a good idea, so. Okay. Don't worry, Jody. And you can see that the Parmesan is already starting to brown. So that's awesome. So left-hand one, okay, I'll put it in that way. Yes, that worked. Try not to burn yourself, Sal. Crying on a video does not look good. How many of you know the kid in me loves making these? So easy, right? So now, Jody, we're going to let that finish. Probably doesn't need 11 more minutes. It probably only needs another 6, I would think. So if you could just remind me in 6 minutes, that would be awesome. Seriously, how easy was that? Anybody think they'd have a problem with that? Buy yourself some ready rolled pastry or make your own dough. Do what you like. I find that the way that I make my dough, because it's sourdough, it doesn't spike my blood sugar. So, and I know that if I know that I can take about that much a day and keep my blood sugar under control. Jody will attest to that because I report into her regularly. All right, so there we go. So we got a bit of time. Shall we play a bit now? Okay, put these away. That can go away. That can go away, that can go away. That can go back in the fridge. That can go back in the fridge. I thought some French's onion right at the very last moment on one of them would be good. Or maybe both. So remembering that I didn't buy anything to make this. It's deep diving of the freezer to find out what is that mystery package down there. Okay, apparently the mystery package is Smokies. And I thought, what a good idea. I haven't had that for the longest time, apparently, about a year. So let's use those up. Now, here's another tip for you. Jody, could you just take a timestamp at 34:51? Tip of the day. How many of you buy lemons one at a time? I'm going to recommend that round about this time of the year, they go on special, and you can normally get like 3 or 6 at a really good price. What I do is I buy 3 or 6, depending on what's on special. I use one fresh, and I huck the rest into my freezer. Sometimes I slice it and in the freezer so that, I can make my lemon or orange water. Um, or if I'm making fish or something, I can just put slices of lemon or lime. If lime, I'm inclined to put on chicken as well. You know what I mean? It's just like it's there. And I've got it at a 3-for-1 price or a 6-for-1 price. And you've always got those little gaps in your freezer, so hucking them in the freezer actually doesn't take extra room. I'm amazed how many times I just go, well, they went in very easily without, upping the level, because I can't afford to up the level anymore. All right, so here we go. The next thing I want to talk to you about is, you know me and my experiments. I've been doing this experiment for the longest time. I'm not. And that is, I got to show you. I hope you can see this. All right. This is my deck. Can you see here? Oh, forget that. On this side, can you see my hanging garden? And I've got all sorts of different things. I've got some plants and some vegetables in there. Now, you all know me very well. What did I use to create a hanging garden? An over-the-door shoe organizer. By the way, there's another one on the other side. But what a welcoming sight when you walk up towards my front door. This hanging garden, this is what you see when you walk up towards my front door. The hanging garden of color, and then my seating area. Yeah, a shoe organizer. Clever idea, over the door type one. And there's another one on the other side. And they have never been in the full sun, and look at all the color. Anybody who tells you that plants have to have sun to get color, no, it's not true. This is on a covered deck, not getting any direct sun at all. Isn't that pretty? Now, you know me very well. This is an experiment on, can I have flowers on my deck, growing without taking up a lot of space. How many of you know I'm going to be actually making a wall of them next year? Right? I'm going to buy a couple more shoe organizers and then make a whole wall of color. 6 minutes is up. Thank you very much, Jody. But did you like the idea? I'm so pleased. But there's more to the story, Jody. Make sure I finish it. You will burn yourself, sir. Don't risk it. How does that one look? The one that's cooked. Good? All right, now then. Oh, I put the shovely thing away, didn't I? Okay. Thought I didn't need it, but I do. So I'm just going to plate this. And then this goes back, Jody, 9 minutes, I think. Just hold on, everybody. I want to take a picture of that. That might look pretty. Because otherwise I will forget. And then it'll go cold and it won't look the same. Wonderful. So, uh, 9 minutes, please, Jody. So look at that. It's just the same amount of bread as I would use in a pita, but it's full of vegetables, little bacon, and some cheese. Pretty, yeah. How many of you got kids? How many kids would love to delve into that? Thank you very much indeed. All right. Why? It's got bacon in it and cheese. And they won't even notice that they're eating, vegetables. And the other one as well. Of course, I got a very difficult choice. Which one I'm going to have tonight? Or shall I have half of each? Oh, now there's a thought. Yeah, but, wasn't it simple? Now, what about if you let's think about what if you had mushrooms in there? What would you add in with the mushrooms? Right? What if you had tomato and then a layer of onion soup, and then mushrooms? You could just go to town, and very easy to do, not expensive, totally use leftovers, but make them in a way that if I had a family, I'd get everybody putting their own toppings and stuff in it. Make your own, right? Because everybody likes different things in theirs. And that way, if they made it, you can't be wrong. That's the way I always look at it. Right? I love doing that with my guests, right? Construct your own, because then I know you're going to enjoy it. What if you had caramelized onion and bacon and, so many options, but layers of tomato, because that's tomato season. I'm going to keep that one warm. So to finish the hanging garden story, all right, so here we have the hanging garden, all right, and now I'm going, when it gets to late fall, I will keep this going as long as I can outside, but when it gets to late fall, I'm going to bring it inside, all right? I probably will change the soil, because I don't want to bring all the bugs that are in soil into the house. So what I will do is I will repot a lot of those. But then I also will start growing my vegetables. By then we should have, I was showing you at lunchtime, I hope by then, we will have perfected the peppers and the basil and everything else. And I want to create this indoor wall of herbs and flowers. And it may take me a couple of years to get it right, but I'm going to do it. And what about lettuce in there, right? Because the lettuce is growing really well. So I just, bits of green, bits of color. And then what I will do is I'll put it in my spare bedroom, and where it gets a lot of light in the winter. Now then, here's my next thing. Some of you are going to really laugh. Jody, at timestamp of 44:37, please. Here is something that I want to talk to you about. Do you know how hot it gets in my... I've got a greenhouse window there, okay? We've already got the sun going right down, and it is already still 98 degrees and a half there in Fahrenheit. And for those of you who speak centigrade, that's 36, nearly 37 centigrade. That's an oven in there. And that's why I have to pull all my plants out of there in the summer, because it gets so hot. And then I thought, because it's me, why don't I use that heat? Why don't I use that heat this year? So I'm doing more experiments. You know, any bread that I have left over at the end of the week, I just grind it all up and I make my own breadcrumbs. Guess what? Put them in a brown paper bag so that the odd fly or whatever can't get to it. And I keep it in that window, and every couple of days I shake it up, mix it up. Any moisture will be absorbed through the paper bag. Clever or what? This has been there for about a month. And now I can put that free breadcrumbs. I'm actually going to leave the top off because it's probably still quite warm. Let that cool down a little bit. But do you understand? No work, no need for an oven, no need for a dehydration machine, just solar power. So then I got thinking, what else? Because, you know, the breadcrumbs have been going for quite a while now, and I'm going, that really works. What else? Here I got some seeds that I brought in from the garden, but I wanted to make sure they were properly dry before I put them away. I collect the seeds off some of my flowers, all right? And now what I will do is I will put these into packets ready to sow in the spring, or put them in at the fall. Nice and dry. I know they're safe. Not going to get bugs in them because they're nice and dry. And in here, I haven't got very many, but I wanted to show you. I also collect the petals off my roses. And my lavender. So and because it's in a sealed dark bag, they've kept their color. Does that look pretty or what? So then I went, okay, I think that's called potpourri. So then I did spend some money. I've got to be quite honest. And here is what I spent money on. Not very much, because I ordered it from China. Hold on a second. You're not going to be surprised with me at all, people. So I bought my 9-minute timer. Thank you. Hold on. Don't want to burn myself. Let me get the right tools. Get that out of the way. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy that one. Hold on. Picture. Jody, oh no, I won't need it because I'll have a picture. Hang on a second. How about that? All right, so Isabel's saying when I have to save my bread, I could make this recipe instead of a huge mushroom. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Does that look tasty or what? Now, I'm thinking, how many of you are going, well, you could make like a Hawaiian pizza, stack, right? But it's about the fact that it's a bowl and not flat that makes it look more appetizing. And the portion control is there. It doesn't look like the size of one small pita. My pita every day is about, when it blows up, it's about this size. All right? It's half the size of a normal pita. But this looks a whole lot bigger, doesn't it? So more bang for your buck. Doesn't that picture look good? Really like that. Okay, we'll put that to keep warm. I'm definitely having half of that. The brie cheese was bubbling when I opened it up, and it was just like, oh yeah, we're definitely having half of that. No. I just want to keep some heat, keeping them warm. Once the inside heat has gone down a bit, I'll put them inside to keep warm. All right, so now then, where was I? I was making a purchase. And what I purchased was some organza bags. Now, Jody would probably make them, but aren't they pretty? I bought 100 for next to nothing. And you're going, why 100? Well, quite honestly, I looked at the price and said, do I think I would, want to give people pretty smelling sachets, the women in my life, to put in their drawer at home, lingerie or whatever, would I want to do it more than 1 year? And the answer was, you bet. And if somebody comes as a guest, would I want to give them a little bag of my rose petals? Now, I also bought, but I bought it online out of China because I can do that more cheaply. This is a big thing of essential oil. This one happens to be jasmine. Now, I'm going to get another one, which will be rose. All right. But I'm not in a hurry because I'm not going to put these together until just before Christmas. Otherwise, the bouquet in my house will be overpowering. How many of you can imagine that? If I did all these sachets up and they all had essential oils to them. By the way, I will put them in brown paper bags to absorb any excess moisture, but then into plastic bags. But what I found, I don't know about you guys, is even in a plastic bag, the bouquet still comes out. if you've got essential oils in there, it's amazing how it seeps out. So, do I think I will use these? Yes. And by the way, if I happen to come across somebody that's got a product that they're trying to do something with, how many of you know I could put cookies in here? Okay, Christmas cookies. So and as I said, it was so cheap to buy 100 of them. I thought, let me get the 100. I will find uses, without a doubt. Big score. So this is now another Christmas present that is well underway. I'm so proud of myself this year. And as I said, I don't know any female that wouldn't like, a bouquet of potpourri to put in their drawer. I was surprised last year. I happened to find some really cool drawer lining paper that was lavender. So when you opened it up, it was infused with lavender. And so you could put that in your drawer and have that as an idea. You know, it was amazing. It came in a beautiful box, and I found it in the dollar store, but the box was so pretty you'd never know that. And everybody that I gave one to went, "What a great idea. Where did you find it?" I didn't tell them. Well, actually, I did now that I think about it, because I would, wouldn't I? I'd like to tell you I didn't tell them, but I did actually. I pride myself on incredible dollar store shopping. And, and the reason is you need to look and you need to know not to buy everything every time. It's just like keep looking until you see something. Yes, the lavender, exactly. But think about it now that you're thinking about it, what if you got really nice paper liner and then dropped essential oil lavender on it, right? Yeah, buy a little bottle of essential oil and then, seal it in about 3 different plastic bags, one over the other, and let it infuse, all right? Or here's another thing that I came up with is, hold on a second. I might have shown you this before. Yeah, here's another thing you could make. This came in something that I bought. It's a little piece of cardboard with a hole in it. We've got cardboard coming out of our gazoos, and I'm sure that you've got a hole punch somewhere. But what it is you drop essential oil on it and then you hang it over your coat hanger. Simple little present. All right? And then, this one's got lemongrass on it. But, again, how simple is that? And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be able to cut out some squares of cardboard, cardstock. All right? So this is about, I would think about pretty heavy cardstock. It's like the thickness of a thin bar mat, but clever. And you just put some essential oil on it and hang it over your coat hanger. Full of good tips, right? So there we are. Final thing. At lunchtime today, I showed some of you my Christmas in July collection that I'm starting to make. But I wanted to show you, now that it's getting darker, it's not dark yet, but I wanted to show you what I couldn't show you at lunchtime. So this is a battery candle. Okay. It's not quite dark enough, but can you see how pretty that will look on a mantelpiece? And, or on a window. Or if you just had the candles all right, even if you just had the candles behind here, all right? Doesn't that look cute? So I'm really happy. And just to let you know, I spent the afternoon with my website guy And we've nearly got it all working. There's still a little bit that we want to fix. We've got PayPal working on it. We've got all sorts of stuff. But these will probably go up for orders next week, Christmas in July. And the reason I'm telling you is I want to make sure those of you who are regular viewers get first hit. So you would just need to go to the DearMamaSal.com site, and there will be a tab at the top. Actually, the first ones I do, I will actually put on the landing page, all right? It'll probably have bonus offer or something on it. You know what I mean? It'll be a main post. But after that, it will move onto its own tab on the Dear Mama Sal site. And if everything's working, you'll be able to get it. For those of you who weren't there at lunchtime, I also am doing beautiful Christmas cards. Did you all see those last week? And also, what I'm going to do with your help is I want to put up a questionnaire, because I want to find out, do most people want to buy a selection of cards, you know, like a couple of birthday cards, a couple of get well soon cards, a couple of general cards that you can use for anything, and some Christmas cards? Or would you buy only Christmas cards and only general? That's what I'm trying to work out, whether I should have those options, you know, some that you can buy just one generic, and then some that you might buy a package of cards that will last you a year. All right, the emergency ones. So that's what I want to do, is to get some input on that. And I'll put it up probably on Facebook or something so that I get some idea. So Isabel's saying a great village under a tree. Wonderful. Yes, you know, what I love about it, though, is that I'll be able to mail them flat. All right, they will go in a regular envelope flat. And then the houses will mail flat. And then there'll be 1, 2, 3 different places where you will just need to remove the double-sided tape cover. You know what I mean? One side of it, and then just press it together and you'll have a house. And that's what I was thinking. Can I mail it flat? And so the tape just arrived today, funnily enough, between the 2 broadcasts. So then I will have these little strips of double-sided tape, and all you need to do is to remove the tape and just press. I reckon if I can do it, you can do it. So, but they will actually mail flat. So that will really save on, you know, postage, because that's the, as you all know, it is the cost of sending anything anywhere that really is getting to be ridiculous. And so what I was thinking about is, what can I make that is not going to cost a fortune? The other thing is, think about not only for you, but what about, do you want one as a gift? All right, so I'm going to actually be sending my personal friends a Christmas card with a village in it. Because, you know, the ones that I know would appreciate that and would have the, you know, be able to put it together. Some people just don't have the patience, but, you know, some do. So there we go. We use leftovers and 1 portion of my daily bread. And we actually 2, right? We had 2 portions. We made 2 very satisfying dinners with lots of flavor in them. No potatoes, no need for potatoes. By the way, if you want to add more, you know, put a caprese salad or a green salad on the side. I personally find that one of those has enough of everything in it. I am quite satisfied when I've had one of those. Why? I tried one last night and went, oh, that was way better than I thought it would be. And by the way, if you've got some leftover pizza sauce somewhere, you know, store it in ice cubes, bring out 1 ice cube, let it thaw, put that in the bottom, make yourself a pizza. So the main thing is, get creative. It can be basically the same stuff, but the fact that it looks different makes it different. So I hope you've enjoyed this hour. And what I want you to understand is that this is not about spending a whole lot of money. This is dumpster diving in my freezer to find out what I had and then saying, what can I create with whatever I have that is in the fridge at the moment. All right, so I'm hoping, and by the way, do you like the fact that I'm showing you Christmas present stuff? I just wanted to, because, you know, that's how I do Christmas. I literally, every month, I add something else onto my list, all right? I buy my Christmas presents for the people I really love that are going to get a lot of little things from me. Every year, they get a lot of little things. But I try to make sure that they are all very useful things. And my experience is people just like opening little presents, all right? And I would rather spend the money. And by the way, all my overseas friends know I will not mail stuff to them. And you know why? I refuse to waste that much money on them, all right? When anything that's sweet, I would rather send you the gift card and why spend $60 on packaging and parcel that you send? Why? I won't do it. It is a waste of present. I would rather say, I was going to send you $50, but you've now got 100 because I didn't have to send you a parcel. Or I was going to send you $25, but the present I was going to send was going to cost me, $80 to send to you. So look at that. You got extra money now. And I will, send them an Amazon gift card. Have fun. Go get it. To me, I don't want to be wasting my money. Yes, you will be able to buy the house on DearMamaSal. It's not up there yet, Kimmy. I'm only telling the viewers, the regular viewers, because I want to make sure you know it's about to go up. And what I will do is probably, where's the best way to warn you? And I will give you guys 24 hours. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I obviously won't be able to take multiple orders, right? They take a lot, they obviously take time to make. And so there'll be a limited amount that will be available, each week. And what I will do is I will schedule them in. But this is what I've been trying to work out. I've been trying to work out, it takes about 6 weeks for things to go international now. All right? 6 weeks to go international. So first of all, I've got to make them. Then I need 6 weeks to get them to wherever they're going. But if where they're going is also going to be sending them international, we'll need another 6 weeks at least on their side. Does this make sense to you? So I'm going to probably have to stop selling them if you want them to go overseas by the end of September, or keep them for next year. Makes sense. But I want to give you a heads up. And I think what I will do is to actually make a little graphic for you so you can see. For people in Canada and the US takes about 3 weeks on postage these days from Canada. It's ridiculous. It's just like, it's 20 blocks away from me. And it takes 3 weeks to cross the border, people. So what I'm thinking is, that'll have probably an end of October deadline, so that it can get there by the beginning of October, so it can get there sort of end of October. So, that's what I'm thinking about, is I will need to stagger the deadlines, or understand that it could arrive late and you won't have time to send them overseas. That's the best I can do. But that's why I start Christmas in July, because I want to make beautiful things like this for my family and friends. But I know it's going to take me time. And then I thought, maybe I'm not the only one that likes these things. Maybe other people do well. So wish me luck. By the way, for those of you who do the first orders, I will try and make sure I throw in a couple of other things for you. But here's the thing. Know that we're still testing the system. So you may be what I call the guinea pig people. All right. So have patience. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I hope you had fun. you know I'm going to eat up a storm and continue watching Virgin River. I need to get on Billy the bike. How are my steps doing today? Oh, I've only done 6,000. So I've got, a bit to go, but not too much. I can do that in an hour easily, put on another 4,000 in an hour. Not a problem on Billy the bike. So there we go. What did you like most about tonight's broadcast? Different people like different things. Let's hear what you liked. And if you're watching it on the replay, let me know as well. Good night there, Kimmy, and have a great weekend. And thank you for being here twice in one day. That's amazing. Thank you. I want to know what it is that you enjoy. All right. Do you like seeing things like my vertical garden, my hanging garden? Do you like seeing how I make Christmas presents on a budget? The houses and the tomato pie and everything. Okay, that's good. Yep. Oh yeah, Jody's saying I love the tomato pie. I thought, I saw that and I thought, I think my people will like that. That's the sort of thing they go for, right? And seeing the progress on the veggies growing, yeah, it's going insane. And seeing the crafts is also. All right, good. So it's okay if I mix and match it. It's not all the same thing. And you don't mind that I put a timestamp in every now and then just so that I can find it. Because I want to be able to make sure that people can find where those things are. All right, this is DearMamaSal going off to have a bonus dinner. I'm actually going to relax. And then, as those of you who listen to the lunchtime broadcast, you know how I'm going to clean up the kitchen because I told you all about that today. And how many of you know it's all going to be easy to do and not too much hard work? My thanks to Pat for making me my DearMamaSal apron, to Jody for being the admin so patiently, even when she's not well, and to the rest of you for being here. This is DearMamaSal saying, love you dearly, and my nails get in the way of that thing, right? Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. And we'll see you on Sunday. Thanks for being here. Okay, people, where is there it is. Bye-bye for now.